Hi, hello, how are you? Welcome back to the Curvy E Chronicles. Today we are cooking up breakfast. Good morning. We are starting off with breakfast. So, this one is one of our favorites. It is biscuits and gravy, a classic. So, recently I did start making my biscuits from scratch because come to find out it's a lot easier than I ever expected. So, ingredients wise, flour, salt, baking soda, baking powder, butter, and then some buttermilk. I did just cut up my cold butter, it does say cold butter, into small tabs to then cut it into the dough, which was it does take some effort and some arm muscle. But then we put it on the stand mixer and we do add in our buttermilk until it starts to form a dough. The recipe doesn't say this, but I like to warm it up with my hands and kind of knead it, not a whole lot, but enough so that it holds its shape. And then we do roll it out. And yes, that is my son's water bottle cap that I am using to cut my biscuits because, believe it or not, I didn't have a biscuit cutter, but feel rest assured, I did buy a biscuit cutter in the meantime. There was something else I was making. Oh, I think I was making sugar cookies and I needed a round cutter. So I now have a round sugar cookie cutter and a biscuit cutter. So those are going to go in the oven for about, I think, like 12 minutes. But in the meantime, we're going to start a sausage gravy. We're going to brown our sausage. We're also going to melt some butter because that is going to go on top of our biscuits once they come out. And these biscuits do cook quick. I want to say it's like 12 minutes at 400. It could even be less. But once they come out and they are piping hot, we are just going to brush on that melted butter. Oh, so good. Then our browned sausage is going to get 2 tablespoons of butter to it as well. And then we are going to add in, I think it's like half a cup of flour, quarter cup of flour, some garlic powder, and some pepper, some black pepper. And then, of course, our heavy cream, milk, half and half. I think I used half and half here. And I think it's about a cup to a cup and a half of half and half. And we're just going to let that boil and stir it and let it thicken up and get nice and delicious. When I was making this, it did take a little while for it to thicken up, and I did have to add some more flour. So I will, again, link the recipe, but it is one that I am adjusting to. It's not something that I feel like I'm totally confident at. But split them biscuits apart, smother them in gravy, and there you have one of our absolute favorite breakfasts that we eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner sometimes. Next up is what I like to call Boujee French toast. Again, all of these will be linked down in the description, but it starts with a half a stick of butter. That actually might be like close to a full stick of butter, but same. A cup of brown sugar, and we are going to melt that together. And for some reason, I'm missing some footage, but in the bowl, we have 8 eggs, nutmeg, cinnamon, brown sugar, vanilla, and then half and half. You'll have to read the recipe again, but just mix all that really well together. Then you take croissants. Yes, croissant, however you say it. You cut those in half. I get mine from Costco. And then that would be our butter brown sugar mixture that is nice and homogenized is what I've heard that's what it's called. So we're going to dump that on the bottom, and then we're going to line the pan with our croissants. I did use a 9x9. Technically the recipe the measurements are for a 9x13, but it is what it is. We're going to dump this over and let it sit in the fridge for about 20 minutes. It's actually best if you let it sit overnight. And then cover it in tin foil, and we're going to bake it covered for 25 minutes at 350. We're going to uncover it and bake it for another 20 minutes uncovered. And when I tell you the only thing this needs is powdered sugar, the only thing this needs is powdered sugar. And fresh fruit, of course, but I didn't have any fresh fruit in the house because this one is to die for. Definitely not easy on the waistline, though. This one is a little more waistline friendly. So this one I was using broccoli that was about to go bad and some Canadian bacon that I had in the freezer that we needed to cook. We're going to put that with some onions, and then we are going to do a dozen eggs. So in today's day and age, this is an expensive casserole, but it does last all week, and it wouldn't be me cooking if I didn't drop an eggshell in the dang bowl. So then I like to season our eggs with Johnny's seasoned salt and some garlic powder. And then I also put in like half a cup, quarter cup of half and half. So we're going to spray our 9x13 pan. We are going to line the bottom of pan with them hash browns, frozen, please, frozen, because they will cook up nicely. We're going to dump our meat, onions, and veggies on top, spread them out evenly. Spread our eggs out evenly, shake, shake, shake so it wiggles down. And then y'all know we are going to measure that cheese with our heart, because what's eggs without cheese? And honestly, this casserole is so easy. You could do it with anything. You could do it with bacon. You could do it with peppers. This just happened to be stuff I had laying around. We are going to cover it and bake it at 350 for 25 minutes covered. Then we're going to uncover it and bake it for another 30 minutes till it's golden and delicious. This next one is a breakfast item or just a snack. It is my Lazy Girl banana bread. So it is 2 bananas, mine had been frozen, 2 eggs, and a box of spice cake mix. Quite literally, that is everything. All of it, the end, period. Mix it all together. You can really put anything in this. I've put blueberries in this recipe. I have put strawberries in this recipe. I have put extra bananas in this recipe, so it's extra banana-y. You could put nuts if you wanted to, if you're crazy like that. I am not a nut fan, but today we chose to do the classic chocolate chip. So you can see my little kitchen helper here is helping me add the tiny chocolate chips to the top. You can mix in the chocolate chips too. We just did them on top because that was the easiest battle of the day. So we bake that at 350 for about 45-ish minutes, just of course till the fork comes out the middle clean and it's not jiggly. And the best way to enjoy this is fresh out of the oven with a smear of butter, because I'll tell you, it is delicious. But that is our 4 favorite breakfast recipes. If you want to see more, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.